Some quite strong words from U.S. ally Britain about the intelligence leak.
Absolutely, and in fact, I just spoke with a political consultant to President Donald Trump's political orbit who told me that they believe this bombshell BBC report regarding a cut of ties, so to speak, between UK-US information sharing regarding the Manchester terrorist attack will actually end up emboldening President Trump's claims that the leaks coming out of the US intelligence community are undermining national security interests. They say that the intelligence community leaks are trying to undermine the president, and there is no question that this being reported by the BBC just before the NATO summit is clearly sending a signal about the mistrust right now and the skepticism that many of the European counterparts within the NATO alliance have with the new incoming administration, Francine.
Yeah, Kevin, I know it's almost impossible because this story just came out, but do we have any understanding of where the leak is from, or do we never and will we never find out?
As of now, this story is still very much evolving. You have to remember that it is only 4 a.m. in the United States. Many lawmakers back in the States haven't even woken up yet to this news. That said, it is the first unscripted moment, so to speak, a continuation from global events of the Manchester terrorist attack directly influencing the president's first international trip. I can also tell you that the president is set to meet with French President Macron later today, the first meeting since the French president had been elected. So again, this deep skepticism here in Europe with this new administration really on full display. And I can also tell you that that is in stark contrast than to what we had reported and experienced in both in Saudi Arabia and in Israel. In Israel, the president, with Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, actually giving brief remarks to ease some of the criticisms that President Trump had received about sharing intelligence regarding Israel with Russian officials during a meeting several weeks ago at the White House. Whether or not British officials will actually play ball in that regard remains to be seen, but quite frankly, from what the BBC is reporting and the public statements coming from the UK officials, doesn't seem that that will be the case.
Yeah, it's certainly the mood, or at least the tone, has shifted. Kevin, President Trump also trying to crack down on leaks back home, of course.
Yes, I'm sorry, Francine, could you repeat that?
The question was, of course, Donald Trump is also dealing with leaks back home, trying to crack down on those.
Yes, and in fact, I spoke with a former administration official or campaign official who is being investigated by the intelligence community and also by several congressional committees, including the U.S. Senate Intelligence Community. These folks, people like Roger Stone, people like Michael Caputo, Paul Manafort, they are demanding that they be able to testify publicly and not privately. They feel if they testify privately, they won't be able to get a fair sense of a fair way to get their message out there, so to speak. But former FBI Director James Comey, of course, at the center of all this controversy, whom President Trump fired, is set to testify before the U.S. Senate following the Memorial Day holiday this weekend once lawmakers return from a congressional recess.